Hey guys, Frank Flegg here, founder of Ethical Property Partners, the place where we help you to make annual returns on your property on a monthly basis. Now, one of the things that really winds me up about the property industry is that there are forever people telling you that things that are possible are impossible. You only have to go on to Facebook, some of the forums on there, and someone asks a really innocent question and someone puts a really helpful comment to try and help them, and 20 people tell them that it's wrong or impossible, etc. And one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that no money down investing is impossible. The number of times I've heard people stand on stage saying, I'm not talking about that snake oil, no money down investing, I'm not trying to sell you the impossible dream. And I sit there thinking, oh my goodness, if only people knew that no money down investing is absolutely possible. You just need to know how to do it. And the fact that you don't know how to do it doesn't mean it's impossible. The fact that Ronaldo can take a free kick and clear a wall and bend the ball meters around the wall and score in the top corner, just because guy that plays Sunday League football can't do that doesn't make it impossible. He just doesn't understand how to do it. He hasn't put the preparation in, he hasn't got the knowledge, he hasn't developed his skills. And it's no different with sophisticated property investing. With sophisticated property investing, no money down investing is absolutely possible. And I'm going to give you an example, because last week I completed on a 2-bedroom London flat, so flat in London. You can imagine the value of this, and it cost me none of my own money. Now, when I say it cost me none of my own money, let me clarify. I did have to pay some legal fees, and yes, I did have to cover some costs, but no, I didn't pay a deposit. No, I didn't have to borrow any money from the bank. It was a no money down deal. So let me explain how. I was approached by someone who wanted to buy their own right to buy flat about 5.5 years ago, and what they said to me was, we have an amazing discount, we want to buy this property, can you help us? So what I did, and this is called net weaving, I've got someone who wants help. Now, funnily enough, they were a property investor. They'd been to some forums, they'd been to some events, and they'd heard of me. They'd actually gone to 3 gurus before me and asked for help, none of whom could help them. And they said to me, please can you arrange, or please can you help us to buy this property? So I went to a finance investor. So this is a private individual, actually a property investor, owned quite a few properties of his own, and said to him, look, there's an opportunity here for us to get a property for free. Here's the deal. We lend her the money. So we incorporated a company. He put in the money, so 100% of the funds that we were going to lend to her. We became the mortgage lender. So I did the deal out, I did the work, he put the money in. None of my own money went into that part of it. We lent this purchaser the money to buy it from the council. Now, they had an amazing discount because they'd lived in the property previously. Now, for the last 5.5 years, that person has rented out the property, made a return, paid us interest, but we charged a very high interest rate. So that interest, they paid some of the interest to us, but the majority of the interest was wound up onto the loan, to the point where 5.5 years later, the loan is not going to be repaid. They've decided they can't get regular finance either. They're now in negative equity because the interest has accumulated so quickly, but they've had an amazing return for 5.5 years on a property that they couldn't have bought otherwise. They would have lost the opportunity to buy it. In fact, I think it was 7 days before they lost the opportunity that we stepped in and lent them the money. So we approached this person. Now, the reason we waited 5.5 years is because the council claw back that discount within the 5-year period. So we've waited the 5 years. So now we can repossess the property. And what we did, and I did put some money in here, is we said to the individual, look, if you want to walk away from this, we'll give you some money to walk away. I call this the feather and the stick. So the feather is the nice part of the transaction where I say, look, we can give you, and I think we offered £10,000 in total. Yes, we did, which covered some arrears they had. It was a leasehold flat, so it covered some of the arrears with the freeholder. It covered their legal fees, and they walked away with a chunk of money as well. Or they could not accept that, and they just transfer the property into our name, or we could repossess them. And then, of course, there's the potential of there being a shortfall, which there probably would have been, and then there's potential of bankruptcy, plus they'd be liable for all our fees. So in that scenario, they would have been liable for all of our fees and probably would have ended up certainly repossessed, which is a terrible thing on your credit score, but also then bankrupt as well, court orders, etc. They decided to transfer the property into our name, and that completed last week. So now, a company in which I'm a 50% shareholder, I have put in the £5,000 of the 10. We went 50-50, my JV partner and I. I have paid my own legal fees. They were about £2,000 and a bit. So I'm about £6,000 out of pocket, but I've got a 50% stake in this property. The property's unencumbered by our company, but of course my JV partner is due the funds back that he lent in. Now I've got a choice. We can either sell the property and I can pocket 50% of the profit. We're looking at the profit by doing that, just by selling the property, is about 3 times my annual salary when I was a teacher. And this is for a deal that I've not put any money into, and I've been receiving 50% of the interest over the last 5.5 years. The other option I've got, which I do quite like, is my JV partner has offered for us to refinance the property, keep it in the SPV, pay him back, and he's happy to then walk away from the deal. He's had all of his profit. He doesn't really want a flat in London, which I understand. He lives a long way from London, but for me that would fit just fine into my portfolio. And then I've got, yes, a mortgage on the property, but a chunk of equity, a cash flow positive property that I've put none of my own money into. And that's the decision that I've now got to make. But either way, it's a no money down deal. Either way, I've acquired a 50% stake in a 2-bedroom flat in London using next to none of my own money. So the next time you hear someone say that something in property investing is impossible, or the next time you hear someone say that such and such doesn't work anymore, the number of times I've heard that, yeah, no money down investing doesn't work anymore. Buying a property, refinancing out your deposit, that doesn't work anymore. The next time you hear someone saying that something's impossible, think to yourself, is it really impossible, or do they not yet know how to do it? Are they not yet at the level that they need to be at in order to do that transaction? Because if you buy into that, it becomes true. Whatever you believe about property investing is your reality. If you believe that there's no deals out there, I've had people tell me that below market value investing is impossible. And it's like, okay then, so all those houses I bought, I must have paid over market value for them. It's a joke. But if someone's walking around believing that below market value investing is impossible, or no money down property investing is impossible, then it's true, because they'll make that their reality. They'll walk on by the opportunities. Like all the people that this woman was asking for help from, they told her it was impossible. But I sat down and I thought, there'll be a way. And of course there is a way. And if that's my reality, if my reality is there will be a way, then there is. And 5.5 years later, I've earned a couple £100 a month, just over, every month for 5.5 years. That's not bad. It's about 15 grand. And now I've got half a flat for free. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If it's inspired you to go do a no money down deal, if it's inspired you to take action, then I'm pleased. Enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the wildlife. Until next time, happy investing.